Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Keke, and I'm back again with another episode of KeKe's POV. Alright, today is episode 10. Yes, guys, we getting up there already. And we're going to be talking about police, mainstream media, and of course, hashtag today's sicko. Alright, so we're just going to jump right in because, we're going to do it while the baby's sleeping. He's asleep right now, so, it applies. So, in Glendale, Utah, Gorda Barton was getting ready to go to work after, almost a year. The problem was her son, Lyndon Cameron, who has Asperger's syndrome, goes into a mental crisis because he was suffering from a bad case of separation anxiety. She couldn't console him, so she called 911 and asked for a crisis intervention team because, obviously, he was having an issue, so she thought that if she couldn't help him, that calling 911 would be able to help them because, that's what 911 is supposed to do. They're supposed to help you in a situation. That's why they call it emergency services. But I digress. So she told the dispatcher that her son was unarmed, that he didn't have anything, that he's just a child that gets upset and doesn't know how to regulate. And instead of being able to communicate the way that he should, he yells and screams. So according to the police sergeant Horrocks, he said that his officers were called to a violent psych issue. And that they reported that there was a nameless boy who made threats to some folks with a weapon. He then goes on to say that there was no indication that the boy was armed, and reports say that Lyndon ran from the officers. Lyndon is Gorda Barton's son, and the responding officer ran after him and shot him. He suffered injuries to his shoulder, both ankles, his intestines, and his bladder. Now, I know I'm not a police officer or nothing like that, but I do have common sense. And I just find it extremely hard to believe that you, as a grown adult man, and there's more than one of you, because obviously it was, responding officers, which means it's plural, wasn't able to subdue a 13-year-old boy. And you had to resort to shooting him instead of using any other type of non-lethal force. Y'all couldn't tackle him. Y'all couldn't, if it really had to come down to it, y'all couldn't tase him. The first thing you decided to do is to pull your gun out on an unarmed little boy that's running, and you shoot him. Now, here's my thing. Her son has Asperger's, which is a form of autism, okay? Now, the autism's spectrum is very wide, okay? Asperger's is probably like one of the, depending, sometimes it's a lot of, they're high functioning. But the thing is, people on the spectrum, a lot of them, they don't take kindly to strangers. They don't want strangers touching them. They don't want to be around strangers. They used to what they used to. They go by a certain routine. And to step outside of that routine can cause mental anguish for them, which is exactly what happened here. And the way that it was handled is just ridiculous. There's no reason why a 13-year-old boy should be laid up in a hospital in serious condition because you failed to de-escalate the situation properly. Okay? She called for a crisis intervention team, not SWAT. So I'm very confused as to how this little boy ended up shot when he didn't attack the officer. He ran from him and he was shot. That's crazy to me. That's really crazy to me. So, there have been 1,254 people with mental illness that have been shot dead by the U.S. police since the beginning of 2015. So, that's about 22% of all people shot and killed by police across the country during that period. So, that brings me to my next point. I feel like police are barely equipped to de-escalate a situation with typical people. You get what I'm saying? Neurotypicals meaning like someone who doesn't have a mental illness. You see that they always so quick and gung-ho to shoot somebody and asphyxiate them or kill them in some way, shape, or fashion when there's just a typical situation. So they damn sure not equipped to be able to de-escalate a situation with someone who's mentally atypical. Okay, because it seems like they're just too quick to shoot to kill, asphyxiate people, and then they ask questions or create circumstances around why what happened later. They too scary. If y'all scared, y'all gonna have to get another job. There's plenty of professions out there that don't involve you having to deal with someone who may harm you. But when you signed up to be a cop, guess what happened? You knew that. You knew that was a possibility. Yet you signed up for it anyway. Which brings me to Daniel Prude. So Daniel Prude was 29 when his life began to come to an end on March 23rd, 2020. Now, Daniel went to visit his brother in Rochester, New York. And when he arrived, he had been acting erratic and abnormal. His brother was like, "Your son ain't right." So his brother called 911 because he's like, "Yo, my brother needs help." So he didn't realize that his brother was suffering from a mental episode due to the ingestion of PCP. So Dane was running through the streets naked, and he was just being erratic and just acting crazy. So officers apprehended him, and at first he cooperated. But after 3 minutes of them having him detained in cuffs, it's reported that he started being agitated and spitting at the officers. So the officers put a spit hood on him to prevent him from spitting. Then they held him down face first on the pavement with the spit hood on for about 2 minutes and 15 seconds. So he stopped breathing. And most likely his last words were, "You're trying to kill me." And I'll tell you why. So after this took place, with them holding his head down on the pavement or whatever, the officers noticed that liquid was coming from his mouth, and he stopped speaking and moving. Only then did the officer, Vaughn, the officer's last name was Vaughn, release his head. And then for about 45 seconds, he was like tapping on his head while the other officers was talking and chatting, trying to get him to come to, and he didn't. So then, for some reason, one of the EMTs told the EMTs told the officers to put him on his back. They did, but then they told the officer to administer CPR, which I'm confused because you're an EMT. Isn't that your job? Why the hell is a cop doing it and you're not when you pulled up in the ambulance? Maybe, I don't know how protocol goes, so I'm not going to speak on what I don't know. I just gave y'all my opinion. So, later on, Vaughn said that he used the hypoglossal nerve technique. And that's pretty much, you jam your fingers in the nerve under the jaw to cause pain and persuade your suspect to comply. To me, that should sound like torture. I'm just saying. So Dane was put on life support, and he died a week later after being taken off life support on March 30, 2020. And then you have, everybody knows about Elijah McClain. If you don't, I'm about to let you know about Elijah McClain now. In Aurora, Colorado, okay, Elijah McClain lost his life. Now, someone called 911 on him. He was walking down the street, doing his daily routine or whatever. Had his little snacks, come from the corner store. He going home. He listened to his music. He was really anemic, like severely anemic. I think he had like underlying blood conditions, so he always wore like a ski mask and stuff to keep himself warm. So somebody calls 911 and says they see Elijah. They say, he's walking down the street. He's moving his arms and stuff or whatever. He's wearing a mask. Okay, but then they go on to say, well, I don't think he's dangerous. I don't think he's in danger. So what was the point of calling the cops? Just to say, hey, I just looked out my window and this is what I saw. For what? So anyways, ultimately, 3 police officers come to confront him. He ends up getting thrown into a wall and cuffed, his hands cuffed behind his back. They had him on the ground, all 3 of them on top of him on the ground for about 15 minutes while applying a carotid control hold. This caused him to vomit several times, which he apologized for, okay? And then he lost consciousness. Then they had the EMTs come, and they injected him with a dosage of ketamine while he was already unconscious. Now, when I first read it, I was like, wait a minute now. I thought ketamine was used to tranquilize horses. Why the hell are they using it in people? I thought it was illegal, but apparently it's legal to administer ketamine in Colorado for a condition called excited delirium. But I do want to ask the question, if it's for excited delirium, now I didn't even read the definition of excited delirium, and I'm going to tell you why. Because the words themselves just seem self-explanatory. Excited, animated, energetic, he's unconscious. How is he excited? Delirium, he can't be acting delirious if, again, he's unconscious. So, and again, like I said, last time I checked, they used ketamine to tranquilize horses. I guess you could use it in people now. But he was a very small guy. Okay? He was very small, very thin frame. And then on top of that, he had a blood condition. And y'all sitting here injecting folks with stuff. And y'all don't even, like I said, they sit here and they doing too much. And they don't ask questions before they start killing people and putting their hands on folks. So then shit goes wrong. So you don't know if he has any type of allergic, any type of allergies, any type of previous reaction or something like that, and y'all have him injected with this while he's already unconscious. Now, he went to cardiac arrest after they injected him with the ketamine, and he was pronounced dead on August 27th, 2019. He was pronounced brain dead on August 27th, and then he was pronounced dead 3 days later on August 30th, 2019. And I'm going to read you his last words. His last words were, "I can't breathe. I have my ID right here. My name is Elijah McClain. That's my house. I was just going home. I'm an introvert. I'm just different, that's all. I'm so sorry. I have no gun. I don't do that stuff. I don't do any fighting. Why are you attacking me? I don't even kill flies. I don't eat meat. But I don't judge people. I don't judge people who do eat meat. Forgive me. All I was trying to do was become better. I will do it. I will do anything. Sacrifice my identity. I'll do it. You are all phenomenal. You are beautiful and I love you. Try to forgive me. I'm a mood Gemini. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Ow, that really hurt. You are all very strong. Teamwork makes the dream work. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to do that. I just can't breathe correctly." Now the last part, "Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to do that. I just can't breathe correctly." That was one of the multiple times where he threw up while they were pretty much just killing him. And he apologized. He apologized for them killing him. And I'm putting it just like that. My point to bring up the Daniel Prudes and the Elijah McClains, okay, because let's just get it clear. Let's clear something up really quick. Linda Cameron is a white boy. Daniel Prude and Elijah McClain are both black men. But the reason why I even point out their races is this one simple fact. Yes, there's so much going on with the Black Lives Matter and police brutalizing black people, but it's also a problem with people who are mentally incapable or mentally disabled or have mental illness. It's also a problem because the thing is that these cops are not educating themselves. Because I feel like, listen, even if you're not taught that, if it's not a requirement to become part of your job, why not take that extra mile to hand? Like, listen, you know it's a problem. You know it's something that happens in the profession that you chose, where you're gonna encounter people who have mental illnesses, disabilities, or whatever, and you should be able to want to be the best at what you do, considering that a lot of times somebody else's life is in your hand. You should want to be educating yourself. What I'm saying is that these deaths and injuries could have been avoided if a lot of these cops were little bitches and got bullied and want a little bit of power now. And if I'm wrong, and if it's just something that better training, more training could do, can help fix this issue, like cops taking psychology classes or something like that, or just taking some type of class where they're taught the knowledge about mental illnesses and the signs and the symptoms of things like that. Or like in the case with Linda Cameron, why the fuck didn't they just listen? The mother clearly told y'all her son has mental issues, that she needed a mental crisis team. She did not ask y'all to come shoot her son. She did not say her son beat her up. She said her son is having a mental breakdown because he's having separation anxiety because she has to go to work because she hasn't been to work in a year. So he's used to seeing his mama home every day. So now all of a sudden she's leaving. Again, he has autism. You disrupting the routine that's been created for him by her being home, and he does not know how to cope. But instead, y'all just was like, oh, let's do some action, a violent psych issue. Let's go. Let's get the guns. Come on, guys. And you're so gung ho to sit here and shoot. And it didn't even give a damn, and it was a 13-year-old boy. What? He's freaking 13 years old. Like his mother said, y'all could have tackled him. And like I said, if it really, really came down to it, where this little boy was overpowering 2 and 3 officers, which is not what happened, but I'm just saying, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's say it did. Y'all got tasers, y'all got rubber bullets. The first thing you do is shoot a child. The police want us to trust them, but clearly they have a serious lack of judgment in the field. And this right here, the fact that y'all could not sit here and think like, wait a minute, how can I handle a child with mental disabilities and be able to de-escalate the situation? Oh yeah, I know. Let me pull out my gun and shoot him in the shoulder, shoot him in his ankles, and shoot him in his intestines and bladder. Let's rack up the medical bills and have him laid up in the hospital. Now they gotta go fund me for this little boy because of something that could have been totally avoidable. It's just too much craziness going on. Speaking of craziness, you know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about what's going on in the mainstream media, because, I dabble a little bit in a little gossip and stuff like that, sometimes I got to, just see what's going on. I like to be knowledgeable about the world and let y'all know how I'm feeling about what's going on. So anyways, the internet been going a little bit crazy since the day before yesterday. So we're going to start with Joe Budden. So it seems that Joe Budden decided to cut ties with Spotify, and he spilled some tea about them and iHeartRadio, and shit just started hitting the fan for him. So some people saying, you know, it's a smear campaign because, you know, he trying to speak up for the rights of black and brown people, and they don't like that. They want to keep you under their thumb. They want you to do what they want you to do when they want you to do it, how they want you to do it, and whatnot. I mean, is he wrong? But, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's exactly what's happening right now. Because I just feel like if it's a smear campaign, it wouldn't be coming from, you'll see. So pretty much the day before yesterday, some audio leaked from a recorded phone call between him and his ex-fiance and the Love and Hip Hop's New York star, Sin Santana. Y'all know Erica Mena's ex and whatnot, Lexington's mother. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, in the audio, it sounded like she was trying to get him to incriminate himself, because she was saying something like, oh, so you could get mad and drag me again? And then he goes to her, he's like, wait, I dragged you? I put my hands on you? So then when he asked her, you know, if he really put his hands on her, she was like, oh, you must still be drunk or something. And he's like, nah, I'm not drunk. I'm very aware of what's going on. So I'm just saying, to me, listening to the phone call, it sounded weird. It sounded like a little bit of a setup. But, you know, don't be trying to come for me like, oh my God, you don't believe her. But didn't you say you need to believe Meg Thee Stallion and na. I'm sorry. In my opinion, Santana can't really be trusted. I'm not going to say that this didn't happen, because I don't know what their life is. Because he probably could have went upside her head a time or two. I don't know. But I'm just saying, this is the same girl that was on Love and Hip Hop talking about some black men worship Latina women and all that stupid shit she was sitting there talking. So, I don't know if I'm a little biased and I just don't feel bad for her, or if I just be feeling like she not genuine, okay? Because I remember the episode where her and Erica Mena had gotten into, and they both put their hands on each other, and she was like, oh, you put your hands on me! And I was just like, damn, bitch, calm down. Like, bruh. And she was going overboard like that. So I don't know. For all I know, Joe could have like tapped her shoulder. She was like, oh my God, you dislocated my shoulder. I don't know. But anyway, I digress from that. So then, you know, some court documents got leaked with allegations made by Sin, again, saying that he sexually assaulted the dog. Now, Joe says that, and he said that he only masturbated his dog because his dog gets no bitches, and he felt responsible for his canine's release. So, you know, listen, okay. I'm just gonna go, yeah, I don't know. Because I'm just saying, like, if I had a dog and my dog didn't get no bitches, I'm not about to just be like, hey, come here, let me help you out. I don't think so. Okay? If that's the case, let your dog outside. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of straight bitches out here. You know what I'm saying? Or you got the money, buy your dog, get you another dog, and let him have a girlfriend. If it's really that serious, if you feel so responsible for his canine release, buy another canine so that they could release together. I don't think that you should have to take that into your hands, literally. But okay, you know what I'm saying? So then Sin came out with a statement basically saying that the shit that happens in her family or between her family gets handled in-house. Okay, that she don't play with her family, and that Joe's a great dad and a present dad and an active dad in their son Lex's life, and that she didn't leak the audio, but that someone that she trusted and that she called her sister, you know, betrayed her and leaked the audio. So, sis, what was this all for? Because I'm just saying, if people are saying that a smear campaign is happening to Joe Budden because of him cutting ties with Spotify or iHeartRadio, whoever, whatever, why is it that the stuff that's coming out is coming from his own baby mama? You feel me? From his own ex-fiance that they broke up a year and a half ago, and then all of a sudden all this is coming out. I don't know. For me, it looks like it could be opportunity on either side, on her side or even on Spotify's side. But like, listen, ain't nobody gonna want to deal with him because he fucked with dogs. He molests dogs or whatever the case may be. But you know, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure that one out. But on to the next. So y'all probably don't know who David Adefiso is, but that's Tamar Braxton, little African boyfriend. or whatever. So he done ran off and filed a restraining order against her for domestic violence on Tuesday. Now, in my opinion, this man went from behind the scenes where she was only just talking about him and nobody knew who he was. He was like a little mystery man in her life and stuff like that. You might have seen a few pictures and everything, but didn't nobody know who he was. And then all of a sudden, he went from, silent lover to making statements with the press about her after her suicide attempts, like he was her damn publicist. Now, I don't care what nobody says, okay? I feel like he's trying to make her look crazy because, you could already tell that Tamar Braxton was like a little bit of, like insecure and she had issues within herself or whatever. Now, I don't know these folks personally or nothing like that, but I've been side-eyeing David Adefisio ever since this whole suicide scandal. For the simple fact that it's weird that you the one that found her. Now, she always saying how Logan, her son, is the number one priority in her life, and then out of nowhere, she gonna go and try to kill herself and leave her son motherless. And you the one that found her, and she's sitting here like, yeah, her savior and all the rest of it. Like, you saved her life. Now, he probably was one to call 911. But then when 911 came, the first thing he sitting here talking about was like, yeah, I found her like this, and she's having problems with WeTV network and all the rest. Wait a minute, sir. What the hell that got to do with what right now? Like, we trying to get her better. We trying to make sure she lives. And you talking about her beef with WeTV. I don't know. Something about him just don't sit right with me. Okay? And something about him don't sit right with her family, too, because they saying here saying things like, listen, he been saying here trying to get involved in her little business transactions and stuff like that, and he be a little controlling sometimes, and that her mood changes with depending on how his mood is, and it's like, okay, since I know domestic violence when I see it, whether it be mental, physical, or emotional. I'm just saying, but not my, that's not my place. But I'm just saying, like, honey, don't be sending some folks. Something in my spirit just don't sit right about him. And my gut don't usually be wrong. But, sometimes folks want to be loved so badly that they'll sit there and take whatever someone gives them, disguises love, so they can feel something. You feel me? And, listen, Tamar, boo, you got a whole bunch of successes under your belt, boo. And you got a son, you got a whole lot to live for, and you might have had this little setback with WeTV and whatever's going on with them. But I'm just saying, shorty should not be settling for less if that's what it is. And that's just my opinion. So, at me if you want to. Now, Keeping Up with the Kardashians is ending in 2021, okay, after their 20th season. Who's surprised, really? I mean, they've been on the air forever. Okay, that's damn near what, 20 seasons, 20, that's like a year a season, that's like 20 years of them being on the TV. Shit. Now that we got social media being the hugest presence around, okay, the internet detectives are better than any of the alphabet agencies, the DEA, the CIA, the FBI, the COP, any of them. Like, these folks on the internet, they can find your address in a hot second, give them the picture, they know where you live. Shit is crazy. So, what I'm saying is, too many spoilers will likely ruin a season. So, they made themselves too big with their fan base, so everybody want to know what they doing every second of the day. They're not going to wait a whole week to see an episode of what happened in the past couple of months when they can check your social media and see what you've been doing every minute of the day, because y'all be posting like crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, it's like giving yourself a deja vu. I'm just saying, good riddance. Like, it don't really affect me. I never watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I might have seen a clip or two, that I seen a little bit interesting to me, but nothing, nothing too crazy. So, I don't know. I don't feel no type of way, but the internet was, trending with it. Like, oh my God, they ending. But I know who is going to be happy, Kourtney, because she said she wasn't coming back anyway. So, ain't no skin off her back. Now, speaking of the Kardashians, Kanye did an interview with Nick Cannon, and in it he said Forbes is his favorite white supremacist. He said they don't care. He said they don't care. They live like it's like they don't live like it's 2020, but like it's still the 1800s. Now I'm saying what he said was not wrong, okay? But like, ain't all these fucking people think? But like, my thing is this: we know they white supremacists, but why are you gonna say your favorite ones? I think that's just weird. Like, you rank them like by what? Like, but I guess when he say that, he did say he's just saying like you gotta respect their gangster because they don't give a shit and they just gonna say what they say and they not gonna be apologetic about it. And he not wrong. So day before yesterday, they posted an article with a racist ass title called "A Second Stimulus Check Could Be Coming. Can the Black Community Wait?" Now, the article was written by a contributor named Corey Hill. She just happened to be black. So they're like, well, black girl wrote it. It's probably okay for her to say that. But then I'm just like, bro, because then I went back to check on the title and they didn't apologize for it. The title has been changed to "A Second Stimulus Check Could Be Coming. Can Low-Income Households Wait?" Yeah, I know I live in the hood. So that's the thing is that was a racist ass title because it's like, can a black community wait? For one, there's a lot of Americans out of work, a lot of people unemployed, unemployment rate high. Okay, so I feel like, why are you singling out black folks when there's a lot of people with different backgrounds and diversities that live in low income housing, or that have low income households? So why y'all trying to single us out? Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't be trying to, I just don't like, it didn't feel like a good look to me. Oh, can the black households wait? What about all the other poor people? Don't be singling us out. I'm just saying. Y'all want to be saying here, y'all get mad when somebody say Black Lives Matter. So don't be saying here trying to be like, try to make it seem like y'all care more about black income. Black income matter. Don't do that. Don't do that. But I see what he was saying. He's still a damn fool. He still be saying some crazy shit, and he still need to get it together. And ain't nobody finna vote for him. He get taken off ballots all over the place. But he wasn't lying about Forbes. But I think he's probably just salty about Forbes because they snubbing him because they ain't trying to acknowledge his billionaire status for real, or how he want to be celebrated. But that's Kanye West for you. So, final topic of the day, hashtag today's sicko. We always got to get into it. I made a pledge and I pledged to stick to it. So, a federal jury returned a guilty verdict against William Adam Jonathan Smith, convicted him of 1 count of conspiracy to commit sex trafficking of a minor and 1 count of sex trafficking of a minor. According to evidence presented at court, Mr. Smith met and befriended the 17-year-old victim in the summer of 2019. He introduced her to Charity Cantu, his longtime girlfriend, who worked for him as a prostitute. Mr. Smith told Ms. Cantu that she was to groom and train the victim to make money for him, providing commercial sex services. So from August through October 2019, the victim accompanied Ms. Cantu to hotels in the Dallas and Fort Worth areas and engaged in commercial sex acts. All of the proceeds from the commercial sex acts were performed by the victim were given to Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, 31, now faces up to life in federal prison. His sentencing is set for January 8, 2021, before U.S. District Judge Reed O'Connor in Fort Worth. Ms. Cantu, who was 25, pleaded guilty in March to a racketeering charge. In court documents, she admitted that although she knew the victim was a minor, Ms. Cantu groomed the girl for commercial sex and posted ads for her sexual services online. Ms. Cantu testified in Mr. Smith's trial and is slated to be sentenced by U.S. District Judge Mark Pittman on September 24th, 2020. So, in a few weeks, she'll meet her fate. It's just ridiculous. It's not saying that he met her online. It's just saying that he met his victim on, that he met her and befriended her and stuff like that. But she was only 17, which means she's still a minor. And I'm just saying, like, the parents didn't know that their daughter was hanging out with a grown-ass man, 31 years old. And then, again, another thing that pisses me off is like, yo, I get it. These dudes are sickos. And they do shit like this and they prey on vulnerable young women and things like that and minors and children. Yes, I get that. But what I will never understand is why these females will sit here and do it. Like, I don't know if it's like the Stockholm syndrome or like because, he pimping her out and she's just, that's what she knows, that's what she's used to. But I just feel like you being a female, why would you subject another female to it? Why would I'm pretty sure that you're not enjoying the life that you live in. You're not enjoying having to sit here and have sex with somebody for money and then be forced to have sex with somebody for money. And then the money that you get paid, you have to give it to this person that's forcing you to do things against your will. And for you to subject someone else to that, I just think it's really crazy that you do not feel bad. Or do you not care because you're like, well, it was done to me, so I don't care if it happens to somebody else. I just don't understand the mindset behind these women that's helping victimize other young women. Knowing that you traumatized as hell already. And I feel like there's no way you can be traumatized, but then it's like, are you so desensitized from the shit that's happened to you that you really couldn't care less what happened to somebody else? So now she, got arrested for doing her part and victimizing this young woman, this young lady, this child, because she was 17, she's still a minor. And in my book, if you are a minor, you are a child, period. We're not going to sit here and play semantics so that it can make it seem like it's less than what it is. But, I just don't know. But like I always say, you gotta educate yourself. You gotta educate others. You gotta enlighten others, because y'all don't sit here and this just happened. It was the day before. They just posted this on the Department of Justice website the day before yesterday. So I always try to sit here and find the newer cases. I'm just happy that it didn't take them 30 years like that sick ass family from one of the other ones for them to find this man and get him locked up, or 4 years like the hashtag Today's Sicko from the last episode. It took them about a year to arrest and convict this man, but now he's facing up to life in prison. In federal prison at that, not just regular jail, not just regular prison, okay? He's going up with the feds, okay? So I hope they bury his ass under the jail, because I'm pretty sure that little girl is traumatized and she gonna be sitting and having some issues, okay? And I hope they get what they both get what they got coming to them, because you know what? Enough is enough. And I love when I see stories where these sick ass people end up in jail. Okay, now I just hope that justice prevails, okay, and that they get some hard time so they can sit here and really have some sit down time to think, okay? I just, I just hope they just give them, however long they could get them. Like, this man could be in jail for life, put that man in jail for life. Because I'd be so sick and tired of seeing them giving these sex offenders and these pedophiles and these child molesters this little bit of time and letting them out. And then they do the shit again. The recidivism rate with these motherfuckers is way too high for y'all to just be sitting here like, oh yeah, you could get out. Oh, now you gotta come back in. Oh, you can get out. So these folks need to be in jail. They need to stay in jail for life. Okay? Or, you know what I'm saying? When they got you need to medically castrate them and physically castrate them and all that. Y'all torture them for other shit when y'all be, let me be quiet. I'm just saying, y'all need to punish these people the way that they need to be punished, so that way you need to set a precedent so that the rest of these fucking sickos out here could probably think twice before they sit here and try to do some shit like that again. I think they get up too easy, and they know they get up too easy, and that's why they ain't sitting here too worried when they go to jail, because they're gonna be like, man, I can't wait to get back out there with these kids. That's what they be doing. Nobody's gonna convince me otherwise. That was our show for today, guys. We got into the police and their tomfoolery. Okay, and that's what I'm calling it, because the shit is ridiculous. Their irresponsibility, okay, their incompetence, okay, their lackluster performances. But I'm not gonna keep going too much, because this was a long episode today. But we got into what's going on mainstream media, what's going on with Joe Budden and Tamar, her little African king, and the Kardashians that y'all love so much. And we got into hashtag Today's Sicko. We did it all while baby sleep. Now, if y'all really made it this far into the video, I appreciate you. I really do. I really appreciate you. And if you liked what we talked about, smash that like button. And if you want to see more episodes, subscribe and smash that bell, because I'm always coming with an episode. I'm always coming with some new information, something new to talk about. My topics are always up for discussion. Y'all can continue them in the comments, you know what I'm saying? I'll be down there, put my little input, because it's my POV, so you go get it whichever way, whether I'm talking or I'm texting, you know what I'm saying? And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.